Hello, my loves. Today I wanted to talk about something I've been reflecting on deeply. There's been a huge shift in the conversations on a relationship nowadays. So many men are saying they want peace now. They want softness, emotional safety, femininity, calmness, a woman who understands herself and carries herself with grace. And honestly, I think that realization is a beautiful thing to have. But if I'm being truthfully, women like that were always here. Let's get into it. We were in the same rooms, around the same people, living in the same generation. We saw the same trends, the same attention economy, the same chaos. But somehow, some of us still choose modesty. Some of us still choose self-respect. Some of us still choose emotional discipline, boundaries, and peace. And yet, we were often overlooked. Not because we lack value, not because we weren't beautiful, not because we didn't have love to give, but because for a long time, a lot of people were more attracted to intensity than peace. Excitement over stability, validation over substance, chaos over calmness. And that's the part I think people are finally starting to realize. A lot of men spend years chasing relationships that looked exciting in the beginning, but became emotionally draining over time. Public embarrassment, consistent conflict, instability, broken homes, financial stress, emotional exhaustion. But for women like me, and women like so many of you watching, so many of you, it can feel bittersweet sometimes because the very qualities being desired now are the same qualities that were ignored before. We didn't suddenly become valuable. We always were. We didn't suddenly learn how to be soft, grounded, nurturing, or emotionally aware. We carried all of that. We did. The difference is now people understand the cost of overlooking it. And I think that the deeper conversation nobody really talks about, when you spend years passing over peaceful people while chasing chaos, eventually life teaches you want peace. Let me say that again. Because when you spend years passing over peaceful people while chasing chaos, eventually life teaches you want peace. But here's the important part. Women who protected their peace are not obligated. Women who protected their peace are not obligated to become healing centers for people who only discovered their value after being broken by their own chaos. And I say that without anger. anger, without bitterness, with just honesty. Some women spent years feeling unseen while holding on to their dignity at the same time. Let me say that again for you men in the back that did not hear that. Some women spent years, days, months, hours, minutes, unseen, while holding on to their dignity the entire time. And I think those women deserve to know that being overlooked never made them less valuable. In many ways, it protected them from carrying burdens that were never theirs to carry. So to every woman watching this who stayed true to herself in a world that rewarded chaos, please never question your worth. Your softness was never weakness. Your boundaries were never born. Your peace was never lack. The right people, the emotionally matured people, the healed people, the self-aware people will recognize the value of that naturally. And if they don't continue protecting your peace anyway, and if they don't protect your peace anyway, because peace is not something you approve. It's something you preserve. I love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever felt overlooked for being too grounded, too calm, too genuine in a world that rewarded chaos? Thank you for spending this time with me, my loves. Protect your heart, protect your peace, and I will see you in my next video. After reading this poem to you, I do want to say this. The reason why I wrote that poem is to get out frustration and pain that was in me from these men. And I hope I relayed the message as calmly and peaceful as I could, because I am a little irritated and frustrated because I was a woman that was overlooked. I was in the same rooms as the same women you chose that you now call gold diggers, hoes, toxic, unmanaged. I was in those same rooms and I still was overlooked. I was the same woman with full body clothes on, and the woman with the half booty hanging out or the breast hanging out or that was twerking or ready to suck you down on the very first night was the one you chose. I am the same woman that, while I was trying to be peaceful and calm and get to know you, the pain from what another woman, a toxic woman, we'll call them, did to you was being thrown towards me or put on me as if I did something to you. But never was that anger displayed or towards the woman that broke your heart, sir. And I don't think it's fair that a man that has literally gave his life to these type of women that did not bring you peace, that was not feminine in your eyes, whatever you want to call it, I don't think it's fair that you can get another chance with a woman that you have overlooked. I really feel like you need to go find the women that you already laid your life on the line for, you gave babies to, you gave your last name to, you gave your money to, you gave your heart, your time, your attention, your love, your affection, your care. You need to go find those women and live a happy life, because I don't think it's right. I want you to step to the side and let the men that were also overlooked by these same women for you. Step in and see the women the first time that you overlooked. I hope some of y'all understood my poem. I hope it actually moved some of y'all men, because it's wrong. It's wrong to sit around on the internet in life and choose the type of women you choose while also avoiding the type of woman you claim you want now. And think that because you now understand what it is that you're looking for, that you can come in after being used, abused, you gave kids to, married to, you went through all that trauma. You think you have the right to step in front of the man that was also overlooked, and you don't. You don't. It's time for y'all to go sit down somewhere. You women too that I'm talking about, toxic. Go sit down somewhere and allow the women that were overlooked and the men that were overlooked to find each other. It's not right. You had your fun. Now you can go eat your motherfucking cake as well. It's not right. And then you coming back with your heart in shambles, pieces. And you're expecting a woman that was overlooked to take your heart and glue that bitch back together for you. I was called boring. I was told I was too quiet. I was told I was masculine. I was told I was doing too much. And again, words are powerful. And it can make someone like me feel like, should I be toxic? Even when I tried, it just wasn't in me to be that way. And that's why I wrote the poem. Because I want the women to understand, I tried it. I tried the experience of being toxic. I didn't get nothing out of it but pain. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Because it wasn't a part of who I was. I'm naturally positive. I'm naturally nice. I'm naturally just happy. I'm naturally peaceful because I love peace. I'm naturally communicative. And I was really at my lowest when I thought that I had to become a hoe to get one of the same men that I deserved. Because how I see it from my past, it just seemed like I wanted to be friends with the hoes because I couldn't understand how they were pulling all the men that I deserved. The real men. I just felt like, how? And then I was just so frustrated with the toxic men because I'm not chasing nobody like some women are. But they would approach me, they would like me, and I would give them a chance and date them. And I used to ask some of them once the toxicity came out. And this should just be after a while because, again, I'm me. You know, when you're peaceful and calm and you're not, doing all that what a person is used to, their true person starts to come out and they start to ask you in a way, can you do that in such a way? And I asked them, toxic men, the same question. Why don't you go somewhere and teach all the men that are being overlooked how you pick out real women so that they can get the skill set? Because I'm not understanding how you're so toxic, but you can pick out a real woman. How I know they can pick them out? Because at the end of the day, after they show their ass, and I do what I always do, which is be a woman, respond feminine, the truth always comes out. They say the same thing every time. You deserve somebody better than me. And if that don't say it all, then I don't know what does. Because if you know that the type of woman that you're talking to deserves better than you as a toxic man, why don't you go start a business and start gathering all the overlooked men up and teaching them what you know, your skill sets on how to pick a real bitch? Because you obviously don't know what you're doing with one. And the same for some of you hoes. You toxic ass overly emotional ass, always in your feelings, always gotta respond a certain type of way bitches. Why don't you go find all the women that's having trouble, that's overlooked? Won't you go find them and then create you a course or a class and teaching them your skills on how to pick out a good man? I think that's what should happen. Because as a woman, I'm not chasing. I'm just going to be seen. If you see me, you see me. If you don't, you don't. My name is Honey, and this is The Makings of Me.